What up, guys? Jason Geiman here with King of Pressure Wash, and tonight we're going to answer your questions. I've got a list of questions here, but obviously, if you have questions, I definitely want to answer your questions. We are getting into the season of pressure washing. We're not quite there yet, but it is coming. It has been nice. People are out mowing the grass, and so that means that when it's that time that people are starting to mow grass, that means it is time to start pressure washing. People will start seeing their dirty houses. When they see their dirty houses, they will start calling you if you've done the work that you've needed to do to get the phone to ring. The phone won't ring if you haven't done the work that you need to get the phone to ring. And so you have to do these things so that way the phone will start ringing for you. And so tonight, I'm going to just kind of answer your questions of what questions that you may have. And I will answer any of your questions that you may have. And if you don't have questions, I've got a list of questions that people always ask me. And so I will get you the answers so that way you will know what questions, because you know what? The only reason why you can't grow your pressure washing business is because you have questions that you may be too scared to ask. And there is no dumb question. The only dumb question is the question that you don't ask. So that is what I want to hit on tonight, and that is what I'm going to work on. And so this is where we will be at for tonight, of asking questions and answering your questions. Today, I was out doing some pressure washing with DJ, my buddy, myself. We ended up doing a $600 sidewalk. That'd be a good sidewalk. $600 driveway. It should have only taken us about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But as you know, if you run a pressure washing business, everything don't always go as planned. He had his pressure washer running, and it's running over there. And the next thing, it's not building pressure. And when it wasn't building pressure, the next thing we knew is I went over and there was smoke pouring out from underneath the side of where the belts are. And so we went and took the belts off. The belts were still on, but as soon as we tightened them, it broke two of them. And so we had to go get another we went and got another surface cleaner, because that's what happens. It doesn't always happen of everything works perfect. When you're in the pressure washing business, there is times that it's like, what else can go wrong with us? And so these are things that happened to us today. It was super duper windy out there today. The wind was getting it. And so as we were out there, we were spraying chemicals everywhere. And so that is kind of where we are with it. But we ended up getting a 2-hour driveway cleaning that should have took us 2 hours, $600. It ended up taking us 4 hours because we drove around the 3 part stores. Nobody had belts, so we had to go get his spare surface cleaner that was about 40 minutes away and drive 40 minutes back. And so that was kind of our day. Being out in that cold wind did take a toll on me, so I might look a little tired. My eyes feel dry, but I'm here to help you grow your business. So with that, let's get this party started. I do my book of the day. I'm going to go back to one of my older books that I like a lot, that I think you should be reading a lot, is Think and Grow Rich. A lot of times we think that we can't charge that much. We think that we're not worth that much. And this book helps us with our mindset of how you can differentiate yourself and grow your business and grow yourself and your personal life through vision. And if you don't think vision works, of believing in what you can see, it 100% does. And anybody that has been successful will probably tell you the same thing for that too. So with that, we have Alvin in the house. What's up, everyone? How are you doing? We got games for good. Let's go. Good evening, everyone from Missouri. How are you doing, Ethan Foster? Aces High, Howard, howdy from Dallas. Good old Dallas. So, my son is trying to start a pressure washing business, but he doesn't really want to actually do the labor yet because he's not strong enough. Do you know people who are setting up affiliate programs? No, I do not. I don't know how old your son is, but it's not hard as it is, but it ain't that hard to do. Software where he can help with the sales only so that he can put up yard signs, build his brand, build a business, do the website, set up the company. Formation of all the good stuff and really be able to build the network to help another pressure washer who is established, who has the truck, and then can possibly even work for a guy part-time. And would be cool is it finding out that software works to be able to keep some integrity, meaning that when you are writing a book, and paid a quarterly contract would possibly, you're probably not going to find somebody like that. I would say just go for it and start it. It's not that hard. I don't know how old he is, but my 9-year-old daughter can do house washing, can do surface cleaning. It's not that hard. So that's what my suggestion would be. What's up? What's up? Just joined the community today. I'm super excited. So the biggest thing I would tell you about when you join the community, and I would highly recommend everybody to join the community, you can go to kingofpressurewash.com, and if you type in the discount code 17, it will give you 17% off. But the Monday night marketings, the Zoom calls, that is where you should be coming to. You should definitely come to those Zoom calls. I have a whole list of those Zoom calls. There's a whole bunch of them. You can go back through and find those too and listen to those. Those are amazing. Yes, I have everything else in there. How to build a rig, how to do all of that stuff, how to do everything pretty much. But the Monday night marketing, that is where you get all your questions and answers quickly, and you will learn from all the other people that is in there also. Carlos, how are you doing from Palm Coast, Florida, in the house? I listened to this man. I've been listening to him for 4 years, and it has helped me, my business, pretty good. Thanks, bud. Well, I appreciate you listening to me. I really do. What's up, Yas, from Palm Coast here. The question I have comes to new guys and knowing their cost when you brand new and have minimum cost and no overhead and has the ability to do maybe 6 jobs a week to figure out your cost. So the way you got to figure out your cost is obviously you got to see how much money you have into the business. To be able to do 6 jobs a week, you're still going to have to do marketing. You're still going to have to do yard signs. You still got to have your equipment. All of these are cost. So your gas, your time going out there putting out yard signs, your time doing any other marketing, if you're spending any money in ads, all of that is part of cost. So that's kind of one of those things that, yes, you can start out minimum, and yes, you can start out door knocking, right? And that doesn't cost you a thing. But at the end, you still don't want to quote as though you are minimum cost, right? You still want to start out quoting at the 20 to 30 cents a square foot for house washes. And I would probably push toward the higher end, 25 to 30 cents for concrete cleaning, right? We're still going to charge those prices even though our cost isn't as much, because our goal is to grow this business so that you can start and putting employees in place, removing yourself from doing all the things that you don't like to do. So that's why it's important that we make sure that we're charging enough in the beginning, because what happen is we'll be like, well, I just want to get a couple jobs under my belt, and then we start on these low prices, and then you might get denied on the low prices, and then you're like, well, nobody's going to pay the higher prices, and then you never raise your prices. And so you can run down a rabbit hole by starting cheap and never raising your prices. You know, as you learn and as you grow, you can keep raising your prices. And that's the thing that will help you set you apart, that you will be able to answer your phone because you're not so busy with the stupid jobs that you shouldn't be doing. Can I put a third coat of paver sealing on my paver 2 weeks after I did the first and second coat? Probably not. You only got about an hour of what's it called? Flash. I think it's called flash time, and that's basically when the two will melt together or meld together, and it's basically an hour of time that you got between it. Some of them you could, depending on what the brand is, but most of them, if you try to put a sealer on top of it, it won't penetrate at all, and then it'll look white cloudy all over it, and it'll mess it up big time. So that's what you got to do. It's your birthday. There we go. I'll give you a birthday clap. Well, happy birthday. How old are you? 21? Finishing up the truck tonight. Let's go. So I am going to be headed to New York on Sunday to help Rick build his truck up there. And so I'll be up there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We got to have it done before Thursday. So hopefully I can get it done in 3 days. I can find all the parts I need if I need anything. And we can get this thing buttoned up and he'll be ready to rock and roll. And so that will be on this week, next week. So I will be building the rig myself as we speak in Syracuse, New York. 14.8 booked with only 10 jobs for April. That's a pretty good average right there, $1,400 job average. And that's back to you got to ask, right? If you don't ask for it, you won't get it. And so it's kind of back up here to this question that was asked here. It's not about getting cheap jobs, right? It's about getting the higher end jobs, whether it's pressure washing, Christmas lights, it don't matter what it is. And so as we get these higher jobs, you will learn you'll get more higher jobs, right? Because when you start showing on Monday Night Marketing this week, we talked about Google My Business. So this month I'm talking about probably March and April. I'll be all talking about Google My Business. And one of the things I was talking about on the Zoom call on Monday night was and I went through several different people's profiles, and like one has trailers and they have these nasty green houses, and it's like, those are not your customers, right? That's not your customer. Your customer is got a clean house and wants to keep it clean. They may do it every 6 months or every year. And so that is your customer. That's who you want. You don't want someone that goes 5-10 years and they're getting called because the HOA is calling on them because their house is the nastiest house in the neighborhood, or all the houses might be nasty. If you drive down a neighborhood and every house has green that's nasty, that's probably not your neighborhood, right? Because they don't care about their property. They don't care about the house siding. And so as you start doing this, you will learn that, you will get these bigger jobs because this is how you're able to do this. So just don't think that he got a bunch of no's to get that 10 jobs. because you could do $300 jobs, and to do $300 jobs, how many more jobs you got to do to be able to do $15,000, right? You got to do a crap ton more jobs to do $1,500 if you're only at, even at $500 a piece and you got the $15,000, right? But 10 jobs gets him almost $15,000. And what this does is, because every job you go to, you got to spend the cost to get there, you got to spend more chemical, you got to do everything that cost you more. So that's why it's important that we understand our numbers and we understand why we need to do this. Good to see you, Jason. It's been a few weeks. Had a bunch of tournaments. Jason landed another $4,000 job on all of flat work. Showed up, walked property. Customer said I was the only one to show up or answer the phone. This is the number one thing that you can do right here. And it doesn't matter if you have the best truck out there. It doesn't matter if you have the biggest equipment out there. It doesn't matter if you use a gas pump. It doesn't matter if you use a downstreamer. It doesn't matter if you use a pump up sprayer. It doesn't matter if you spend $20,000 in marketing. If you don't answer your phone, you will not get business. That's how this works. That it's not rocket science. This right here is the number one thing that will keep you not growing your business. And here's the deal with this. It ain't something new. When I started my business, I called 10 different people and I had like one person answer their phone. And that was it. Nobody never called me back. Nobody did nothing. And so if you want to grow a business, this right here is how you are able to get a $4,000 job. Just imagine that if you're his competitor and you didn't answer the phone. So now you got to think in your head, every time that phone rings, that could be a $4,000 job. And that is so key of why you got to answer the phone. If you don't answer the phone, someone else will, because we are in a now society. In 2024, we are in a now society. Everything's now, right? You can Uber anything. You can Uber Eats. It's all about now. You can literally Amazon. And if you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I would bet that 90% of the people in here, Amazon, especially if you're married, shows up at your house every day. Every day it shows up at your house because it is a now society. They want it now. If you're not going to answer the phone, somebody else will answer the phone. And this doesn't matter what business you're in. Pressure washing, Christmas lights, plumbing, electrical, lawn care, whatever you're in, it doesn't matter if you don't answer the phone, you will go out of business. And this is the number one thing. Well, Jason, I'm just too busy. Jason, I'm trying to pressure wash. Jason, I'm on a roof. Jason, I'm doing this. You can come up with 557 excuses. Excuses isn't going to answer the phone. Excuses isn't going to grow your business. Excuses is going to make you fail. Excuses are going to make you fail. So that's what I have to say about that one. If I quoted a job for $1,000 for the first time and they want it done every month, do I keep charging $1,000? Yes, you do. That's how that works. It's pretty awesome. Should I reverse engineer it from hours? I can work then however many hours a week or so on and forth. I mean, I would figure out how many jobs you can do per week and go from there. And, try to shoot for $300 an hour. And that's what I would shoot for. And the further you get booked out, the more you can raise your prices. I was going to start with 100 yard signs a first month. Yep, that's a good way to start. Hi, Jason. I've been listening to your podcast for a couple weeks. I'd love to discuss questions I have for you. There are a few. I did text the number you gave, but haven't gotten a reply. I know you are with messages. Yeah, actually, I wasn't home all day today. My assistant. I did see your. I just looked at that. I think I just seen your message come through today because I wasn't home all day. So, um, I think I see your name. Maybe I don't see your name. Um, I don't see a Rebecca on here. Um, you can also. Um, I I don't see your name on here. So, I see a Tammy. I don't know if that would be the same person. Um, but I'll look for it. If not, you can also Facebook message me too. Getting closer and closer to me, New York City. So, power washing and pressure washing companies don't have dedicated salespeople. Very few people do. Very few people do. Not a lot of people do at all. Most of them are one man bands. There are some, but if they do, they work 100% commission, is usually how they work them. I've noticed Software Jobber and House Call Pro and others potentially could create a quoting tool that could go across more than one website. My goal is to allow my son to pass out flyers and find business in our town and then use the links. Why not just let him pressure wash with it? I don't know how old is your son, I guess would be my question. Um, I try to get them on cleaning every 6 months to every year. That's right. Because people will. Florida commercial trailer washouts checking in and saying hello. Glad to hear everything is going well for you. I just landed a huge contract. Awesome. That's awesome. We like big contracts. Do we have any stats on roof washing extending lifespan? I mean, obviously, it's going to help some because it's not going to allow it to be as hot from the black. And so that's kind of, I'm sure there is some. If you look on Arma, that kind of tells you the about the how to clean them and stuff. It's AARMA, I think Arma, I believe it is. I had a buddy request a quote from three different local companies. It's been 48 hours and no response. And that's what I'm talking about. Nobody responds. Nobody calls. Nobody does anything. You know, the law of first is huge, right? The first one to touch that customer is probably going to get the bid. It's like they did a study that it's like 90, it's like, I think it's like 85% that if you touch the customer first or answer the phone first or get back to the customer first, you have an 85% chance that you're going to get that job. So that's why it's so important that we answer our phone. Jason, I'm starting my skid build tomorrow to be ready for mid April. Hopefully, no snow. Or you can just start making more snow. If you don't have the phone in hand, you don't want to make money. Means everything. 30% of business is just off my 5-star reviews and multiple sites. People read those reviews. That's a whole nother thing that if you're not doing, you should be doing. You should be asking for those reviews every job you do. And from the phone call that you get to the last person that touches that customer, you should be asking for that review. You should be asking for that review 5 to 10 times over your customer journey. If you're not asking for that 5-star review 5 times for your customer journey, then you are leaving money on the table because those reviews are huge for you. I also network with small businesses around me and would be surprised for how many of their customers get sent for me, something they can't perform. Absolutely. Again, tonight, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I will get to your questions. Just put them in the comments and I will answer your questions. The cat in the background is saying, preach, brother. It's about to get thrown outside. uh, tons of Google ad clicks, but no calls. Any help? So first off, I would look at the ad. Second off, I would look at I would look at I'd want to know what your landing page looks like, because if your landing page isn't good, they're not going. If you don't have a large call to actions, if you don't have a large phone number where they can get a hold of you, then that's a problem. The other thing I would say too is I would want to know what you're bidding on each thing. If you're only bidding $1 or $2 per click, those are crappy clicks, and they will be crappy clicks. The other thing too is if you don't have a bunch of negative keywords, those are your crappy clicks. And so you need to start all those clicks that you have, and if they're not a good click, you need to make them a negative keyword. In that way you won't get another click, hopefully, because you've made them as a negative click. So those are the things that will get you lots of clicks but no phone calls. Again, you need to make sure that you have lots of negative keywords that are not have anything to do with what we are doing. And they can be, pressure washing gun, pressure washing trigger, all of these things have nothing to do with house washing. And so that's why we need to make those negative keywords. I'm wondering how many local companies have called to waste my time for an estimate. Probably a lot. One of the ways that I helped my customers calling was to get away from the norm in advertising and start using geo advertising and targeting specific smartphones in the area, and I'm looking to expand that. I can usually tell from the start if the caller is legit. What do you do when you get too busy? Hire more people? Raise your prices? This is a great question. So the first thing you do is raise your prices, and raise them. If you're booked out 2 weeks, you need to be raising more prices. AC Locker, he always said if you booked out 2 weeks, you put another truck online. So that's what he did to grow his business. But the biggest thing I would do is raise prices. And then, if you've got 3 trucks, that's, you're at 3 trucks, and make sure that they are running optimal. The other thing you can do too that can help with this, so you're not paying a bunch of overtime, and it also helps with the guys. Like I know Wes does it down there. They work like 3 days one week and 4 days the next, and they work 10-hour days. And what that does is you hire 2 crews, so that truck is running 10 hours a day for 7 days a week. And yes, some people are going to work on Saturday, but that way you can get more jobs out to be able to do that. But the other thing I would say is raise your prices. If you're that booked out, your minimum should be $450 at this point, $450, $500, and your minimum roof clean should be $600-700. Geo advertising is very cheap. Build your own mark GPS point that you want to target, 10 miles in circumference, 22,000 people in an area. I get 400 calls on that 2,200 for $99. Nice. What system? Are you using the system out of Louisville, Kentucky? I don't remember what the name of it's called, but it does kind of what you're talking about. Hey, Jason, how much would you pay per day for a pressure washer helper who needs to be paid under the table to keep from messing up his monthly Social Security number? I would pay him if he's good. I'd pay him probably $50. So let me get this. The right answer is that you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, we got that out of the way. I would pay somebody $15-20 if they are worth it and they show up and they work hard, and That's what I would do. The biggest thing you got to worry about this here is if he gets hurt. So I wouldn't be letting him on roofs or any of that kind of stuff. And if you're paying him under the table, if you're paying him $15, that's like $20. It's cool again. It's cool again. It is cool again. Today was windy as crap. Donald Hill. I have a permanent site business and I run a couple mobile units, but you have to be willing to be flexible and change up sometimes to meet the customers. Mr. Dan, where do you buy replacement belts for a pressure washer? I've never had one break, but I don't want to be in a pinch. So we was not able to find them anywhere local. O'Reilly was able to get them local, but I buy them usually from like Russ. I'll call Russ and he'll get them for me. Is how I usually always done them. Because Russ knows everything. Tractor Supply probably has them. I just had a guy reach out to me today for a quote to wash 5 tractor trailers, including the tankers. What would be an average price to wash with a soap cannon and no brushing? So they don't make a lot off of those. You're probably looking at around, like you, I mean, I would probably throw out like $100. I know you're probably not going to get them if they're getting them done cheap. They're probably getting them done cheaper if you have someone else up in that area. But most of these guys, they're only getting like $50 a truck or $20 a truck and $20. It's not a whole lot. Do you have a list of negative keywords? I do have a list of negative keywords. I have about 2,000 negative keywords, maybe more. What is the best online site to purchase gear if you don't have a good distributor near you? For our local guy is terrible. So there's a couple different places. There's Manatee Power Washing. There's, what's the other one down? Panhandle. She's good. I like her. If you're on the West Coast, you got Tim Cray over there. And that's where we are going to have in-person training. If you want to know when our next in-person training is in Oregon and you're on the West Coast, we're having a pressure washing and a Christmas light training there. It's a 3-day training. You want to check it out, you can go to KPW Train. That's all the dates. I've got several other dates up there now. That Cincinnati one's up. Russ Johnson from Southside Equipment is a good one out of Louisville, Kentucky. He's also good. Just had a guy reach out today for a quote. 5 tractor trailers. I just answered that question. Yeah, raising prices when you get busy is a good thing. And don't forget your annual inflation increases. What's the best 12 pump recommended? I mean, I've tried them all and they all break. There ain't no good ones. The biggest thing I'd tell you is you keep them cleaned out is your best option. If you keep them cleaned out, they'll last forever. I mean, I've had the Fat Boy. I've had them all. So I've had the North Star. I've tried them all. The Delco sucks. So, yep. No patience for Rookie. He says that he's sick of us. I didn't say that I'm sick of you. I'm just saying that it is what it is. What do you think about yard signs that say starting at $99? I think that's a terrible idea. But knowing you'll never at $99, then I feel like that is lying to your customers. I feel like it is just marketing to the wrong customer, but I may be wrong. And you're marketing to the wrong customer. Keep it simple. Pressure washing, big phone number. Nothing else. Don't get cute with your logo. Don't get cute with your website. Don't get cute with none of that stuff. Big phone number and a big pressure washing. Not house washing. Not now if you're going to do gutter cleaning is good, but pressure washing. Everybody knows what pressure washing is. Nobody knows what house washing is, but everybody knows what pressure washing is. When people call you, they don't say, I need my house washed. They usually call and say, I need my house pressure washed. So that's what they know. I added window cleaning this year and charged $10 per pane. My closing rate is 40%. Is that good? That's pretty good. If you like doing window cleaning, I hate doing window cleaning. $5 to $6 per pane per side is a good start. Don't be afraid to be flexible in your business and always treat every customer like they're your number one customer. Without them, I wouldn't have the business I have. And this is a good point to hit on too. You should treat every customer like they're paying you $10,000, whether they're paying you $10 or $10,000. Because even that $10 customer will probably be a really good customer for you. And even if they're a pain in the butt, a lot of those will be your best ones at the end of it. Benjamin Gregory, I raise prices, schedule out, and start reviewing the resume bank and for new hires, whether temps or permanent. What type of pump units do you like to run with? For me, it's cats. Yeah. I'm not a big. I don't really like the cats. I don't know. I like the generals, but that's what I normally had. I've had a bunch of them, but they're all okay. They all have their problems or good. All the local stores only have 1/2-inch belts. Pressure washers usually are 5/8. What's a reasonable quote for a house wash? I have 2 quotes to give tomorrow, and both seem adamant on only having the house washed. You still want to give options. Even if they only want the house wash, you want to give them the option for the window cleaning and the driveway cleaning. You always do the 3 packages. Even if they just say they want the house wash, you will give them the packages. By you giving the packages, you will upsell them a bunch. And so that is important that you give them the packages. Package A, B, and C. And then don't be afraid to charge. Is what I would tell you. Just remember, you are not paying for this. You are not your customer. For replacement belts, I have bought them at local bearing supply company. My medium-sized city has only 2 bearing stores in it, so they should be easy to find. I want an 8-gallon Largo skid mount. What's going on, Tristan? Mr. Tristan in the house. Advice for Google Ads. I just started. I know it takes time. What's your advice? So my advice for Google Ads is they suck. This year and last year they sucked. The years before that they were fine. Last year they sucked. I couldn't get hardly anybody good leads off of them. Most of it came from Google Guarantee, which is not Google Ads, but it is Google Ads, but it's not Google Ads. Google local service businesses. So Google Ads hasn't been as good here lately, and I don't know why, but it hasn't. What's up, Mr. Devin? How are you doing? Best pump that I've been using is a Seafood 5-gallon a minute. I've been using it as a transfer pump for the last 2 years. Never rinsed it out, and it still works. Google local ads have been it so far this year. Yep. Google ads never generate major business for me and completely overpriced. And that's the other thing. You're going to pay for good clicks. You're going to pay $15-20 a click for a good click. And on general, this was a while ago. that it took three on average. It would take 3 clicks to get one lead. So you can see how the money can go out pretty fast. What should my pressure washing to gutter cleaning yard sign ratio be? I mean, I want to put more pressure washing signs out, but I would also do gutter cleaning. But most of my signs would be pressure washing. I like window cleaning, but I like doing house washes on hot days, and going to be hot soon. Can too strong of a soft wash mix for the wood on the deck? Yes, it can. Basically, you're killing the wood. You're drying it out, and that's what's making it fur up. What's your advice for cedar roof moss removal? How would you do it? So when I did this, when I used to do the roofs with the cedar roofs, we actually sprayed it with bleach. We'd get up there with a plastic bristle brush and pull all the moss off, and then we would spray it with this stuff that was, it had like wax in it and oils and different things in it to help preserve it. Another way that you can do it too is you can use, depending on where you are, right? Are we talking carpet moss out west, or are we talking, not too bad? One thing, don't do this, is put sodium hydroxide on it and try to get up on there and pressure wash it. You might fall off the roof if you don't stop before you get to the bottom of the roof. I might have did that one time. Man, that sodium hydroxide on there, it was slicker than snot on there. This year is ramping up to make me put my money where my mouth is. I set a goal for my team for the year's revenue to be able to pay them all winter while they are off, and so we haven't booked a single job all year under 1,079. Our spring pipeline has over 125,000 up to the end of May, and we're still booking, taking 3 to 10 calls daily. This is wild. You know what that means? That means you can keep raising your prices, and that means that you'll even get higher jobs. The good thing about having your marketing dialed in and getting 3 to 10 calls a day means that you can keep raising your prices, because you're kind of in that same boat that Benjamin asked earlier of what do you do. So you either got to start hiring more people and putting more rigs on the road, or you have to raise your prices, so that way, because you're going to start losing jobs if you get too far booked out. How do you do the SEO optimization on a budget? So a lot of it is, your website, obviously, and then your social media marketing, which are all signs back over to your website. And then you can do your YouTube channel, which is signals back to your website. You can do your Google My Business or Google Business Profile. Make sure you have 100 pictures on there. Make sure that you have everything that you need for that. Make sure that you're asking for reviews, and all of that will help optimize your business. The other thing too is you can have service pages, so all the services that you offer have their own page. All the locations that you offer have their own page too. I ditched the Google ads. It sucks. Yep. Facebook ads have been 100% dead every time I've tried them. Yep, I would agree on that too. Google search ground truth geofence advertising works. How do you build your own skids? You put all the stuff on it, and usually you can buy the skid itself from several of the companies out there. I know Russ sells them at Southside Equipment. I know Power Wash Store PowerWash.com sells them. And you can either build them, and then you just put all the equipment on them and mount them. I have several videos on how to do this. I've built a skid. It's on my blog. If you go to kingofpressurewash.com and go to the blog, you can scroll back and you can find all of that stuff on there. Jason, my girlfriend is a chemist, and she says she's always telling me we need to make our own degreaser to sell. She said everyone is selling something, but most out there is just colored water. Your thoughts? Yeah, pretty much so. I would agree with that. If you can come up with the stuff, most everybody's selling the same stuff at the end of the day. They're just putting a different name on it, is all the different. Maybe put a different smelly in it, and that's the only difference. How do you get your business plan template I can use as a quick guide to build our own? I have everything in my membership at kingofpressurewash.com. Somebody asked about SEO optimization. It is complete 100% ripoff. Sure, they put on 36 internet platforms, but 90% of those platforms. And the thing about it too is that's what I was talking about the other night with on Monday Night Marketing when we were talking on the Zoom call, and I was showing how you're very far down. Most people ain't typing in pressure washing Cincinnati. Most of these people are going to type in pressure washing. And the first person on pressure washing was probably 10 swipes down. And that was on the computer side. So if you're not in the Google local, you're probably not going to show up. What's your software stack favorite digital tools you use? I love AI. AI is my favorite digital tool. AI is awesome. Wear your PPE. Without it, you could lose a finger today. I would have lost a finger today. Stay safe. Damn, Jeremy, how'd you do that? Hopefully you okay. Obviously you didn't lose it because you had your PPE on. How do you use LinkedIn to find leads? How do you use LinkedIn to find leads? You go find all the commercial property managers and you find all of the facility managers and you start commenting on their stuff. What does your sales process look like using LinkedIn? Where do I learn how to fix my own Simpson pressure washer and cap pump? YouTube. I have a bunch of videos on YouTube. SEO optimization is best done exactly like Jason is explaining, but don't invest in a big package that's going to cost thousands of dollars. You can do it much cheaper. How do you properly winterize in the Washington state? I may have screwed up a gear accident with winter. I use antifreeze or make sure you drain it all out. Take care, everyone. I have to go to bed. I'm an old man. I hear you. It's almost that time, isn't it? Tonight flew by. Called all non-closing Christmas-like customers and offered pressure washing. GLS has been slow. Signs are out. Doing LinkedIn posts. What else should I do to stir more businesses? Go knock doors. Go knock doors. Go knock on businesses, meet people, try networking stuff, all of that good stuff. You gotta, when you ain't busy, you gotta be out there and knocking doors and making sure that people know that you're in business, and anything that you can do to show that you are there and that you will give out quotes, start giving out quotes, all that good stuff. Do you use any AI tools for your business, marketing automations like MailChimp or HubSpot? No, I use a different tool that I use. If you join King of Pressure Wash, you actually get that tool. So you can use it for that. It comes with a website and everything. Again, KPW or King of Pressure Wash. If you haven't joined the membership, every Monday night we go live. You also get, I have the 26 steps to the perfect house wash. I teach you how to build rigs in there, and I teach you how to do sales. I teach you how to do quoting, and then every Monday night we do a Zoom call of 30 to 40 people in there, and everybody's asking questions, and so you're able to grow. So if you haven't checked out King of Pressure Wash, go check it out. You get to see Tristan in there every Thursday or every Monday night. He asked a ton of questions. He's a young man, and that is why he has grown his business to do over $250,000 a year. Networking is critical. Putting out my biggest bid yet, because by meeting a guy, 100%, 100% is networking. Also, if you want to know when my in-person training dates are, you can go check out KPW Train. This is a hands-on training. This is, you actually get to use the pressure wash gun. It's a 2-day training. The first day is all about the pressure washing, the safety, make sure you know how to use chemicals, don't do something stupid. The next day is all about marketing and sales, and we talk about our disc profiles, and we talk about love languages. We talk about all kinds of different things of how you can grow your business and the importance of what you can do to grow your business. Best book on networking, I don't know if I've read a book on networking yet. I'm sure there's one out there. There's a book for everything. Can I lease my personal owned car to my business? That would be up to your CPA. I would ask your CPA is what I would do for that. I'm fine. It hurts like heck, but the glove did its job. Well, that's good. But other than that, I am going to jump off here. What's this question? What is solid goal for a year one in business is, if I can read, what is a solid goal for a year one business? Is 30,000 too high of a goal? No. At first year in business, you should be able to do $50,000. I've had people do $100,000 the first year. $50,000 is not out of reach your first year at all. As long as you do the things you need to do to get business, and if you are able to network, if you do whatever you want to do, 50,000 is no problem. You should be able to do 50,000, no problem. As long as you're charging enough and you're putting out yard signs, whatever you're doing for marketing. I've got people making over $100,000 just off of yard sign marketing alone. So that's how that works. You like AI tools? Which one? Bunch of them. Chat GPT, Claude, any of them. Even part-time. Yeah, I got a guy right now doing part-time, and he's at $400,000 a year. Now, his wife also helps in the business of answering the phone, but they're doing $400,000 a year, and he's still working a full-time job. What about content creation? Should we start recording and posting? Yes, you should. Thanks for your help. Do you use drones? No, but you can. But they're about $50,000 with the drones. So, other than that, I'm going to jump off here. I hope you all have an amazing night, and we'll see you all later.